Okay, let's just jump right into it. We are going to break down a method that could literally rewire your brain. The goal? To make something like studying feel just as addictive as scrolling through your social media feed. I mean, it sounds kind of crazy, right? But that's the central question here. What if your brain could actually crave studying? See, here's the thing. Your brain doesn't really know the difference between hard work and easy fun. It only understands one language, and that's dopamine. And this is maybe the most important part. This isn't about willpower. It's not about gritting your teeth and forcing yourself to do something you hate. No, this is about working with your brain's own chemistry. It's a clever hack, not some brutal battle of wills. Okay, so before we can get to the solution, we've got to understand the problem. Why does cracking open a textbook feel like climbing a mountain, while scrolling TikTok feels like, well, nothing? It all boils down to this one little chemical, dopamine. And I want you to really let this sink in. You are not lazy. It's not a character flaw. Your brain is just doing what it's designed to do. It's an efficiency expert, hardwired for survival. It's always looking for the biggest possible reward with the least amount of effort. That's it. So, that ancient hardwired programming? Well, in our modern world, it creates a seriously unfair fight for your focus. Just look at this breakdown. It's so clear, right? On one side, you've got studying. It's a ton of effort, the reward is way off in the future, and the dopamine hit is pretty small. But then on the other side, social media. Almost zero effort, you get a reward instantly, and boom, a huge flood of dopamine. Your brain isn't dumb. It looks at these two options, and of course, it picks the easy one every single time. Okay, now here is the secret key that makes this whole thing work. We all think dopamine is about pleasure, right? The pleasure chemical. But that's not the full story. It's really the motivation chemical. It gets released before you get the reward in anticipation of it. It's what drives you to do the thing. And that little detail, that's what we can hack. All right, so now that we know the secret, let's talk about the solution. It's a 3-part technique, and it's called the dopamine loading method. It's a really simple 3-step process. First, you starve your brain a little to make it hungry. Then you point it toward the food, in this case, studying, and finally, you give it little tastes of victory along the way to keep it going. So, phase 1 is deprivation. For about 30 minutes before you study, you go on a dopamine fast. That means no phone, no music, no talking to people, nothing. Just you and your thoughts, or maybe a quiet walk. And yeah, it's gonna feel boring. It might even feel kind of awful at first. But that's exactly what we want. You're creating a dopamine vacuum, making your brain so hungry for stimulation that even studying starts to look appealing. Okay, your brain is hungry. Now for phase 2, priming. This only takes 2 minutes. You just close your eyes and visualize yourself succeeding. Picture that aha moment when a concept finally clicks. Feel the satisfaction of finishing a chapter. This isn't just some fluffy, positive thinking exercise. You are literally tricking your brain into releasing dopamine by making it anticipate a reward from studying. You get the motivation hit before you even begin. And finally, phase 3, amplification. This is where we lock in the habit. You study in short bursts, say 25 minutes, then you take a quick 2-minute break. But, and this is critical, it has to be a low dopamine break. Stretch, walk around, look out the window. Do not pick up your phone. And after each block, you celebrate the win. Seriously, give yourself a little fist palm for a quiet yes. It might feel goofy, but you are physically teaching your brain, hey, completing that study session, that was a win. So, that's the method. But what does it look like in real life? Let's put it all together and walk through a typical day using this system. So you wake up, and the first thing you don't do is grab your phone. You keep your morning low-key to protect that baseline. Then, before you hit the books, you do your 30-minute deprivation session. You work in those focused 25-minute blocks with the little celebrations. Even lunch is a no-screen zone. And then, at the end of the day, you can enjoy that Netflix show or video game. But now it feels like an earned reward, not just a mindless distraction. You're the one in charge. Okay, I know this might sound like a lot to take on all at once, but you don't have to change your whole life overnight. The idea is to start with a simple challenge. And look, let's be real here. The first few days are probably gonna suck. Your brain is going to scream at you. It's going to beg for that cheap, easy dopamine it's so used to. You've got to be ready for that resistance, because it is coming. But if you push through that initial pain, something amazing starts to happen around day 4 or 5. Your brain chemistry actually starts to change. Your baseline resets, and all of a sudden, studying starts to feel good. That little spark you get from solving a problem, it feels genuinely satisfying. The work itself becomes the reward. So here's the challenge. Just 5 days. Don't worry about the rest of your life. Just give this a serious try for 5 days. Pay attention to how you feel, especially when you notice that shift, when the grind starts to feel less like a chore and more like a challenge you actually want to beat. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It's about taking that incredibly powerful motivation system that you already have inside you and learning how to aim it. You're not creating motivation out of thin air. You're just redirecting the fire that's already burning.